Gather the grandkids and great-grands around. I'm going to show you how to turn this into this. An unforgettable fish art. My videos help you learn a bundle of tips to live healthier and happier. Great-grandparents often take the back seat to grandparents. It's often because they just don't see the children as much. Not long ago, the family was sitting around the table on Mother's Day. The children were asked, what do you like about each mother sitting at this table? The children all said the usual things, except when they came to me, the great-grandmother. They all said in loud accord, the fish pictures, a craft that took place about 2 years previously. So let's get going, so you can be so enthusiastically remembered also. These are the supplies you will need for your basic fish art project, but you can vary them as you wish. You will probably want a frame, a piece of cardboard to work on, craft paper, brushes, netting, paints, and a potato. Oh, of course, you'll need a fish. The first thing to do is cover your dining room table with a protective plastic cloth, unless you have a dedicated craft table. Here's just a piece of cardboard from something that, chair that I ordered. I always save the cardboard and the wrappings. Okay, that's number 2. Craft paper is number 3. You can give it a little spritz with some water to get the wrinkles out. This width is just perfect for the frame that I have. Iron the paper. Doesn't matter if it wrinkles. Some of this paper from Amazon is thicker than other paper. So this is a bit thin, but it would work. I'll show you what else I use this free Amazon material for when I do my paper mache furniture video. So start saving up that packing material now. If the craft paper feels a little too thin to you, try one of these shipping envelopes instead. So you'll need to order something large from Amazon to get one of these. The inside of this will work great. You won't even have to iron this one. Very smooth. And if neither of these work, just go get some craft paper. Or any paper. Could be white, but I like the look that the craft paper gives. It's very artsy. This project is definitely going to be worth framing. You can find a nice frame at a craft store. I also found some long rectangles at the dollar store. It doesn't have to have glass. You may want glass if it comes with the glass. Number 4 is netting. You might have to look around for some appropriate netting. I've had this in my fabric for quite a while. You can even find clothing that you can tear up and use as netting. So take a look at the thrift store and see what you can find. Have some small craft brushes set out on the table. Be a good idea to have one for each color. The kind of brushes that have bristles in them are really good also, but this is all I had in my brushes box. Number 6 is acrylic paint. I have here black, red, and white. You can use any colors you want, but these are the ones that I chose. I think the fish looks really good in black, but you might have another creative inspiration. Number 7 is a nice fat potato. About this size. I went to the Asian store to get a whole fish, but you can find one at a supermarket. You'll be very fortunate if you have as eager art students as these are. First, we're going to work on the piece of net. I'm going to use a little bit bigger brush for painting the net. A lot more efficient that way. It's a little clumpy on this side, so I'm going to make it a little clumpy over there just to balance it out a little bit. There we go. I like that. Put that aside, and next child can step up to the plate. Here's our craft paper with the netting imprint on it. I think I use this side to do the Japanese lettering that means fish in Japanese. Be sure to let the kids unwrap the fish. Set aside the printed craft paper and give the children instruction for painting the fish. This is the part they really have fun with. The flip the fish part is best done by an adult. If you're working with small children, simply roll the fish onto the net print that you made earlier. Let's add an eye. I found the closest thing at hand. It was a pencil eraser. So I'm taking the little eraser and where is that eye? Just stamp it right there. That'll work. Gives those representation of an eye. The potato print part might be a little trickier for you. You want to make sure you get a nice clean sweep through the potato. Let me first tell you, if you are uncomfortable about the potato carving part, you can print out the Japanese characters for fish and just paste them on the side. That's pretty. Here's the potato. I have carved the Japanese characters backwards so that it'll come out right when it's printed. I have carved the Japanese characters backwards so that it'll come out right when it's printed. I hope some obscure slip of the knife didn't turn this into some naughty word, but this is what we have. It did take a lot longer with this than I thought. You can also use an eraser, cutting into an eraser, and then it'll save if you're planning on doing these multiple times with all the grandchildren and great-grandchildren. So the eraser is going to last a long time, well, longer than the potato. Or again, stick this on and you've got it made. The stamping process might need a little guidance from adults also. Take this opportunity to introduce world culture to the children. Japan has a different language and a different way of writing what they want to say. All right, what I suggest, rather than dipping this into the paint, I suggest you paint the potato like this. Give it maybe a couple coats, then practice stamping. Oh, that did pretty good. Does it look like a Japanese person might not be able to read this, or it might say something entirely different? But to my estimation, that's a pretty good representation. Since there's so much blank space there, I will do a nice long row of stamping because that's the way they read there. It'll say fish, fish, fish. All right. There's one. 3 impressions ought to be enough. There you go. There's the fish print. And you may want to let it dry thoroughly. Well, please let it dry thoroughly before you put it under glass if you're using glass, because this paint will stick to the glass and make a horrible mess. If you're going to use the print version, this is what it would look like. That's pretty darn good. I kind of like that. Here's the finished product. Use a hairdryer if you need to get it perfectly dry, and then put it in your frame and hang it up. I think I would make the eye stand out a little better, but that's easy enough to do. This project is good for any 2-year-old and up. This is one of those projects where the adventure seems to be more important than the finished product, as pointed out by Robert Louis Stevenson.